Hey, Scarefest fans, it's Joe Lewis, Bonehead Weekly. I'm going to delve into a film that and by the way, happy Ghost, I'm wearing my beat up Ghostbusters shirt because it's Ghostbusters Day. Of course, by the time you see this, it's already over with. So, anyway, I want to talk about a movie that most of you haven't seen. And it's unfortunate. It's on Pluto TV. It's on Tubi TV. It came out in 2008. It's based on a Clive Barker short story called The Midnight Meat Train. Can you say it with me, kids? What horror movie you go to watch? The Midnight Meat Train. It's good. It's good. Listen to this cast. Now, a lot of people weren't necessarily as famous as they are now when it happened, but listen to this. Stars Bradley Cooper. You ever heard of him? Leslie Bibb, great character actress. Brooke Shields. Roger Bart, you may remember him from the second, that movie, Eli Roth, where they're staying at the Hostel Part 2. It's one of the bad guys. He's also young Frank. He was in Young Frankenstein on Broadway. Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi's little brother. Vinnie Jones is the villain. And it is a brutal, brutal movie. And what I'm going to do is kind of I'm going to read a little bit of the plot and go from there. So Bradley Cooper plays Leon. He's a photographer who wants to capture unique, gritty shots across New York City. He gets criticized that he's not taking enough risks. So he emboldens himself and heads out into the subway system where he takes pictures of somebody's about to be sexually assaulted. And the next day he discovers she's gone missing. And then he starts to look into it and what happened. And that's where everything goes to hell. He tries to give the police the photos, but a lot of people don't believe him. He thinks there's a butcher on the subway station killing people. He names him, his name is Mahogany. He follows him into the last subway train of the night, not only to witness a bloodbath. The butcher kills several different passengers and hangs their bodies on meat hooks. And he passes out on the train, wakes the next morning, a slaughterhouse of strange markings carved on his chest. So it just kind of goes crazier from there. The less I know I say this a lot, but the less I tell you about it, the better it is. I find it a little bit fascinating as this movie was actually going to be directed by Petrick Tatopoulos. I don't expect you to know who that is, but he was a production designer on a ton of movies you like. And he actually directed one of the Underworld, and it didn't work out. Ended up in Lionsgate, and it finally was going to be released in early 2008. It kept getting postponed, and then they finally dropped it in the theaters, only in the 100 cinemas, in second-run homes. And remember, in Lexington, where we're at now, Lexington, Kentucky, there used to be a dollar theater, and what that is a second-run cinema. And that's where I saw it because no one talked about it, and I wanted to see it. And I'm a big Clive Barker fan. I have a great, if you get me drunk, and I'll tell you my Clive Barker story when I met him. No one was there that night. And I'm watching it with my friend James, one of the boneheads, and we just couldn't believe what was happening. The movie is so dark, so bloody. It's kind of hard to fathom how it got made, at least in a studio. It's kind of hard to fathom how they kept the essence of Clive Barker's short stories. So, because a lot of the things from the Books of Blood, a lot of those short stories, they kind of water them down. They don't really get the beating into it that you kind of expect, because some of those short stories are so graphic and so hard to take. And this movie has a hell of an ending. It's going to maybe make some of you mad, maybe kind of piss off some of you. It's a dark, dark film of Bradley Cooper before Bradley Cooper was Bradley Cooper. So what you need to do is go out and find this movie. Like I said, you can watch it on Pluto and a couple of other streaming services for free. It's just free. Pluto, Tubi, Vudu, it's all on there. And check out The Midnight Meat Train. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.